A brief analysis of case study GS paper 4 2018 to 2023. To get familiar with the pattern of questions being asked in this chapter, a brief analysis of previous year's paper are discussed, particularly case study questions. That is the real test of this paper and in practical life. One should first know about the roadblocks, notes, then he should explore ways to overcome and note them through the tools provided in this book in a systematic. Further, in this chapter, broader contours of the questions has been taken up. And certainly this cannot be treated as model answer, as what is model for UPSC always remains shrouded in mystery and subject to varied interpretations. Still, this can be one of the approaches which you can opt for while attempting this paper. Yeah, guys, join me to finish 100 pages every day. General overview of previous paper. Answering the questions of GS paper 4 2023 required the understanding of both theoretical and applied ethics. The section A of GS paper 4 2023 has 6 questions where each question had 2 subparts, with quotation based question having 3 subparts. These questions were framed from topics like moral integrity and professional efficiency in the context of corporate governance, ethical issues in international relation and funding, understanding of work environment, role of society in inculcating values, corruption, contribution of moral thinkers. How does it feel like to study on a rainy day? What kind of days you like? Do you like more rainy days, cozy ones, comfy, and where you just get snug in? Emotional intelligence concepts, their utilities, application, moral attitude, ethics and human interface, and probity in governance. The questions were broadly based on the impact of ethics on society, ethics in public administration and international relations, an overview of case study. An overview of case study question, the section B of GS paper. The section B of GS paper 4 2023 had 6 case studies. While understanding and application of ethical concepts from perspective of different professions like executive in nationalized bank, district magistrate, joint secretary, IAS officer as managing director of the state road transport corporation, additional director general of central public works department and a responsible position in the Ministry of what are the ethical issues involved in the behavior of bank manager, What are the ethical issues involved in the behavior of a bank manager who facilitated the release of funds from a dormant account for the surgery of a person who is father of a colleague of an executive in Nationalized Bank 2023? The case study involves the concepts of honesty, compassion, ethics in public administration. Premise: the case study is about an individual working as executive in a nationalized bank. He is informed by one of his colleagues that her father was sympathetic towards her, but as no resources. Later he is informed by the colleague that the manager has facilitated the money from a dormant account, the promise for confidentiality and sooner repayment. She has already started repaying. Stakeholders involved: individual as bank executive, his colleague bank manager, colleague's father dormant account holder. Individual as bank executives, colleagues, bank managers, colleagues for the government account holder, bank clients. Ethical issues involved privacy and confidentiality, fairness and equality, abuse of authority. Approach the case study demands ethical analysis of the issues involved from a dormant account without the account holder's consent. Similarly, it may be seen as unfair or unequal treatment of other customs compared to a specific individual besides the activities unlawful as it pertains to abuse of authority by the bank manager. Although the bank manager displayed humanitarian values, but his action is unlawful and has legal implications. The case study demands individual approach to situation, hence options like maintaining professionalism, discussion with manager, and advocacy for fair policies could be suitable options. Case study: district magistrate's dilemma of decision making regarding blood transfusion to the pregnant woman in labor in a disaster hit landslide area 2023. This case study involves the concepts of ethical dilemma, professional integrity, dedication to public services, premise case study deals with conflict of ethical decision making along with professional responsibility. The district magistrate in an area hit by the landslide where an individual approaches for medical help as his wife is in labor pain. The challenge lies in ethical decision making. Regarding an urgency for blood transfusion, however, the dilemma lies in following the medical ethics and standards along with the professional responsibility to save the life. The case study demands evaluation of the options available. Stakeholders involved: pregnant woman and unborn child, district magistrate, medical team, NGOs, media, police, blood donors, and government authorities. The lexicon is ethical issues involved medical ethics and standards, professional responsibility, conflict of opinions. Evaluate the ethical issues involved in the case, like following the medical ethics and standard of blood transfusion along with the professional responsibility of the district magistrate to save life of the mother and child. He has to ensure a balance in ethics and legal requirements, then enumerate the various opinions, the various options available, the prioritizing the immediate medical need, coordinating with the blood bank, taking the informed consent from the affected individual or family, and then take steps to address the issue aligning with medical and legal standards. Rashika is a joint secretary. Her professional responsibilities and dedication to her job have led her to work long hours and compromise on her personal life. She is now reflecting on finding a balance between her professional and personal responsibilities. 2023. The case study involves the concept of dedication to public service, emotional intelligence, personal responsibility, ethical dilemma. The case study revolves around the professional and personal life challenges faced by Rashika, a joint secretary. It sheds light on demands of her job as a joint secretary who is engrossed in her work at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. Besides the professional responsibility, Rashika has two young children, aged 3 and 5. along with her husband who is to stay out for work, who has to stay out for work. While working in a private firm, hence the case study demands a balance between professional aspiration along with family responsibility and social obligations. Rashika's husband children is 5 and 3 domestic helper, Mr. Suresh. Rashika's superior ministry workplace, society public. Ethical issue involved work-life balance, professional responsibility versus personal duties, health and well-being. Social obligations, setting boundaries, approach in the case study demands understanding of the ethical dilemmas of Rashika, where she is psychologically hung with conflict between professional responsibility and personal duty. Her case sheds light on ethical issues like work-life balance, health and well-being, right to parental care, social obligations. Let's repeat them again. Health and well-being, work-life balance, health and well-being, work-life balance, right to parental care, social obligations. There need to be appropriate policies as a culture promoting work-life balance, along with flexibility in an organization. Hence, government has already enacted certain laws to address the issues related to women like Maternity Benefit Amendment Act 2017, the Factories Act 1948, etc. Case study: Vinod, an IAS officer, was taken over as managing director of the State Road Transport Corporation. Vinod, an IAS officer, was taken over as managing director of the State Road Transport Corporation. Comes to know about many alleged irregularities of the corporation and the high-handedness of the chairman in financial matters. High-handedness, alleged irregularities. Comes to know about many alleged irregularities of the corporation and the high-handedness of the chairman in financial matters. The case study involves the concept of honesty, integrity, transparency, aptitude, emotional intelligence, foundational values of civil services. The case study revolves around Vinod, an honest IAS officer who uncovers alleged irregularities, tathakathit irregularities and corruption involving the powerful chairman of the State Road Transport Corporation. A board member of the opposition party provides evidence of the bribery, urging Vinod to expose the chairman for personal and political gains. Presenting a dilemma of ethical choices and political consequences. Stakeholders involved: Vinod, the chairman of the State Road Transport Corporation, chief minister, board member, opposition party, peers of Vinod, employees and workers, public media. Ethical issues involve conflict of interest, misuse of power, manipulation for political gains, fear of retaliation, compromise in independence, impact on public trust, approach, evaluate the ethical consideration that Vinod should prioritize, emphasizing the importance of honesty, transparency and public welfare. Also, Vinod needs to prioritize his options accordingly, like exposing the chairman, gathering more evidence, or approaching higher authorities. The case demands to shed light on ethical issues in politicization of bureaucracy, hence issues like conflict of interest, misuse of power, along with manipulation for political gains, must be addressed.